Okay, we're going to move away from frequency distributions and histograms to move on to using the summary statistics. Some courses call these descriptive statistics, but it's a tool within Statcrunch that is extremely valuable, and we're going to be using it over and over and over again during the rest of the semester. We're going to use it for this question regarding finding measures of center, but we can use it to find measures of center, measures of variation, and measures of position. The question we're going to use for this is number 14. And if you'll notice, we have a data set and we have the button here to load it into Statcrunch, which I'm going to do. And it's asking us to find the mean and ask us, does that mean represent a measure of center? The median, does it represent the measure of center? And the reason you're going to say, well, aren't they all measures of center? Yes, but different ones are going to work better for different sets of data. For example, if you have many outliers present, the median is the best measure of center. Sometimes it makes no difference between the mean and the median because it'd be very close together. And for nominal or ordinal data, the only measure of center that's possible is a mode. So we want to find out which measure of center works best for the data, and this is what you're going to be doing in the homework. So we're going to click the button. We're going to load the data in. You can see that has happened here. We're going to click. We're going to navigate to Stat, right? Summary stats, and we have our data in a column already. So it's ready. So you'll run through a screen. I'm going to do this in just a second, and then you'll see select columns. Variable 1 is the only column with any data in. We'll click there, which will put it over here to the right. And there's several defaults that it's going to give you, and I'm going to show you what those are. There's other choices in here, but you would have to navigate to them. The only thing that's missing right now we're going to see is the mode, but we're going to have the mean and the median after we finish this. So when I click, after I click here and click compute, this is the readout I get. And this is really important because, again, we're going to use this repeatedly. So we have 13 data points. Sure enough, 13, right? That's our N. We see we have a mean of 8.2 if I round it to one place, and a median of 8. That's what this question is going to ask, the mean, the median, and the mode. These are all measures of center. Think about the characteristics of data. That's the discussion question that's due tonight. So right now, this question is going to ask us about measures of center. What's missing here is we don't have the mode, but let's look at what all is here. We have the variance. We have the standard deviation. And remember, the standard deviation is just the square root of the variance. I mean, if you take square root of this number, you're going to get this number. If you square this number, you're going to get this number. So that's the relationship between the variance and the standard deviation. For this course, don't worry about the standard error. This question asks us to find the mean. The range of the data, it goes from 7 to 11. There's our minimum and there's our maximum. And quartile 1, Q1, 7, and Q3 is 9. And the reason I'm showing you what is all here is by the time we get to the end of this chapter, we'll be using all this stuff. We're going to be able to use this tool primarily the rest of the way, and we're going to also be using box plots later in this section. So, as you see already, the only thing missing is the mode. But we can quickly identify that by going down, and if we sort our data, so I remember the little button is going to be right here. You can't see it in this screen. But when I sort the data, I see that my lowest value is 7, and I see I have 6 of them. I have 3 8s, 1 9, a 10, 2 11. So, well, clearly 7 is the one that appears most frequently, so 7 is going to be the mode. This is a small data set, so sorting the data would be enough. But let's suppose we had 200 data points. We actually can select the column, navigate down in this statistics. At the very last one is going to be mode. We click there, and notice when I click compute, sure enough, my mode is 7. Sometimes you can have multiple modes, right? Sometimes there won't be any if no value repeats. But for this data set, the mode of 7 is not a measure of center because that's the lowest data value. So the mode is really not a good measure of center for this particular set of data. The mean and the median, however, are both good measures of center, and that's what the question, this was asked for this question. So let's go to that question. I'm going to get back to it. Well, it's going to make it hard on me, isn't it? I'm going to go here. I thought I had this question up already, but apparently I don't. Question 14. So we're going to work through this with Statcrunch right here. So if I click on to copy my table and I open it in Statcrunch. Since I have to sort the data anyway, I might as well go ahead and do that now. I'll go ahead and sort the table ascending, lowest to highest, and we see this 7. Now, let's go over here, summary stats, and my data is in a column. I click the columns, right? Variable 1, and I click compute, and there's the readout you've already seen with the mean of 8.2 and the mean of 8, the other numbers I described. Now, that doesn't give me the mode though, does it? So I go Options, Edit, and now I'm going to go in here and all the way down to the bottom. If I scroll down, I'll find the mode. And when I click Compute, I get 7. So that's how you do this one in Statcrunch. Get comfortable with this. We're going to use summary stats over and over and over again throughout the rest of the course. And we're going to use it a couple more times on some of the videos we're going to have with this section. Hope you find this helpful. I'll have another video for you shortly. In the next video, we'll talk about standard deviations for a population and standard deviations for a sample. There's a slight difference. Good luck.